MoneyWeb at midday for all your up-to-date stories.
Now, you'd expect cutting-edge AI malware to be the biggest cyber threat facing South African businesses, but it's not. According to the big software company ESET's latest threat report, phishing and old-fashioned social engineering still accounting for nearly half of all attacks locally. So I guess we need to ask the question, why on earth are we still falling for it? I'm in conversation now with Tony Anscombe from ESET. Tony, a very warm welcome to you. Phishing, you say, makes up almost 46% of threats here in South Africa. You got to ask why we're still so vulnerable to such basic attacks. Have we learnt nothing?
Well, firstly, you mentioned AI in there, and AI does play some role in those phishing attacks and actually may account for why we're still falling as well, in part. If you think about 2 or 3 years ago, I would have turned and said, look for the grammatical mistakes, look for the errors in phishing emails or phishing attempts. Today, when they turn up in your inbox, they look perfect. The grammar is great, the language is good, there's no spelling mistakes or punctuation, anything like that to spot. So it's really all in the addressing or in the links that these emails or the actions that they're trying to address, push to you. So AI does have a role in it, and they have got more sophisticated and clever. Now, the issue, of course, is human behavior, because unfortunately we can be duped. And sometimes if the cyber criminal gets the content right, makes it compelling and puts an urgency on it, then they exploit that weakness in human behavior to go click on something. You know, I'm sure we're in the middle of the Winter Olympics, aren't we? I'm sure if somebody posted a video of or a fake video of somebody doing some sort of weird ski jump, some backward ski jump or something, people would be clicking on it, even if it was fake. Therein lies the issue. We want to believe, unfortunately.
So it's not really a technology failure that I'm hearing you say. Fundamentally, as with all of these things, it really is a human behavior issue, isn't it?
It is. However, technology does also play its role in there as well. So, for example, ESET's own products have things that will identify links and such like. So if you click on a link, cybersecurity products should step in and block those links. However, it's very easy for cyber criminals to modify those links on nearly every click. So that's also difficult to detect sometimes as well, depending on sophistication of the attack. So, technology does play its role, but user education and our awareness of, have zero trust in something that lands in your inbox as an SMS or wherever it might land. Have a zero trust attitude and think, is it in context? Do I need to verify that before I do anything? And that's a good place to start, both personally and in business.
It does raise the question, though, about companies being overconfident about their endpoint protection. How do they overcome that? What kind of mindset shift do they need to engage?
Well, endpoint protection today is very different to it traditionally. Most of us would come from a generation where we think of endpoint protection being blocking malware or viruses, etc. Today, endpoint protection is more sophisticated. It will look and monitor all the processes and the traffic from a device, and it will actually look at those and see where they're going, what the context of the communication is. Is it out of context with the rest of the company? Are there anomalies in that traffic? Could it be sending something somewhere strange? Is it talking to other machines in the organization that it wouldn't normally do? So it's a lot more sophisticated today than just what I define as endpoint protection. It's kind of more about protection of the entire network infrastructure than the endpoint just on its own. But that said, to understand the data that comes out of the end of that, then somebody needs to have access to good cybersecurity analysts, and cybersecurity people are in short demand across the entire globe, which is a problem. So, I recommend if it's a small business, then actually using a managed service as well. So endpoint protection is important at the consumer level, very much looking at those links and blocking malware, but in business, it's slightly more sophisticated today.
Tony, let's pivot slightly from business to consumer if we can. And in this country, we have a reliance, perhaps even an over-reliance on card payments. And this, your report is suggesting, fuels NFC or near-field communication attacks. I've got to ask myself how aware you think consumers are of just how exposed they possibly are.
I don't think consumers are aware of this type of attack. We've seen this as a growing issue in some regions in the world. And let's just explain what an NFC attack is. So our mobile phones, our smartphones have an NFC reader in them. That's how we can use them to do contactless payments and such like. But that transmitter reader can be used by other apps as well. So this is a mix of social engineering where a scammer will call you and turn and say, hey, I'm from the bank. We believe you've got an issue with one of your payment cards. And what we'd like to do is have you check it. They'll send you a link to install an app. The app comes from a non-official app store. That's flag. You should be flagged. Flag number one is the bank will never call you to do anything like this. Flag two is non-official app store. You download the app, they'll ask you to put your physical card, near the device. It will read the NFC chip off your card and relay it to somebody else. Now that person could be making a transaction or they could be standing at an ATM. They'll ask you then, could you just put the PIN number in so the card will unlock and we can check the card? Of course, you think you're putting the PIN number into the bank's app, and it's only local. So you put the PIN number in there, capturing the PIN and using it at the other end. This is a growing issue. Yeah, it's a mix of social engineering and technology being abused. So people need to be aware. Your bank won't ask you to do things like this. They won't contact you to do things like this. If you get a call suggesting it, just hang up.
I need a quick answer in conclusion. What about law enforcement? Is it deterring cybercrime, do you think, or just slowing the tide?
It's slowing the tide. Yeah, this is an international problem, and I think actually to truly grasp this, you need to take the money out of cybercrime, make it less attractive to actually come into it to start with. But it's certainly slowing the tide.
Going to leave it there, and I really appreciate it. ESET's Tony Anscombe, thank you very much indeed.
You're listening to MoneyWeb at Midday.